Hi, this is Pete Gary from Boca Raton Voice and Fact or Fiction Fridays. I want to thank you for joining us. And today we're going to go over a topic that was similar to last week, and it was the ordinance number 5356, which is the Wildflower property we spoke about. I want to read you specifically what this ordinance says so you understand the importance of why not just to gloss over it and understand what you're voting for when you vote for it. And please remember, come out and vote. Ordinance number 5356. An ordinance of the City of Boca Raton proposing an amendment to the City Code of Ordinances, creating new City Code Section 28-1308. City-owned intercoastal lands, providing that city-owned parcels adjacent to the intercoastal waterway shall only be used for public recreation, public boating access, public streets, and city stormwater use only. Providing for severability, providing for repealer, providing for clarification, providing for effective date. And I apologize, that was codification. Providing an effective date. If I were to look at this, I'd probably vote for it because I think they were talking about the boat ramps that we currently have, the other parks along the intercoastal waterway we currently have, but that's just not what it's talking about. They're only talking about one specific piece of parcel. That's all they're trying to talk about. And what it is, it's the Wildflower property. And even last week when we talked about the petition that everybody signed, they even had misleading language on the petition. So I want to go over a few facts about our Parks and Recreation and what we have to offer in Boca Raton that are specific to us and why we don't need another park along the intercoastal. We truly need another restaurant, which is what was actually purchased for. Fact number one, Boca is home to 29 parks, approximately 973 acres. 973 acres for residents to enjoy in all things outdoors. Fact number two, currently there is only one public dining establishment in all of Boca Raton on the waterways. Fact number three, Boca Raton has a level of service that rivals any Palm Beach County promising 11 acres per 1,000 restaurants. Think about that, 11 acres per 1,000 residents. Currently, we exceed the promise. There is now an average of 16 acres per 1,000 residents. So why would we want to spend additional tax dollars going after another park on the intercoastal when it's the only property that we currently can build a restaurant on for the majority of the residents to enjoy? Fact number four, the Wildflower property is 2.2 acres that some would argue is too small for that kind of active park. The group of residents who mainly reside in the Golden Triangle are the ones that are trying to get this park put in for whatever their agenda is, but they're not speaking for the majority of the residents. They're saying that, hey, look, we want a beautiful place to walk around the intercoastal. We have those. They want additional services brought into that area. Why? Why do they need it right there? The one place where we can actually put a restaurant. The one place that the city purchased a property for specifically to put a restaurant on. Now keep in mind that when they talk about this property, they talk about 2.2 acres and they want to build a park that's 6.4 acres. They want to actually buy the adjacent property, which those of you who live here long enough realize was the old Maxwell Steakhouse. Okay, that would give them 6 acres to then build a bigger park than 2.2. But that's not the whole story. The city intended, once the restaurant is in there, to use some of the $13 million that they're getting from a lease to actually make that into public access into the intercoastal waterway to be able to enjoy both a restaurant and walkways. They're looking at this so that when people come into that area, which everybody knows is on Palmetto Park Road at the intercoastal, if you come just to almost right after 5th Avenue, right on the left-hand side, is this piece of property. It's a beautiful piece of property right by the Palmetto Park Bridge, and it's near where everything is kind of going on. Across the street from that is the actual boat ramp that you can get into Boca Raton waterways. So they're not talking about moving anything with the park or anything with being able to get boating access to that. They're not discussing it. Okay. Fact number 5. Leasing this property to Hillsborough Group will bring money to Boca, $13 million over 20 years under the proposed lease. Fact number 6, building a park comes with a big price tag that only taxpayers will buy. So explain to me again why a few people in this town, not the majority, minority, want to spend additional money to now increase from 16 acres per thousand to more than 16 acres per thousand of public use space for parks and recreation. I have kids. My kids love to go to the parks. I want them to enjoy the parks. I want future kids to be able to enjoy the parks. I want all of our residents to be able to enjoy the parks. But we have enough of them. What we don't have is another restaurant on the water to be able to peacefully enjoy and dine on the waterfront. Fact, the Wildflower property is developed into a restaurant will still offer public access to area, installing walkways, benches, open public use for the waterfront space. So is it fact or fiction? Does the average resident of Boca Raton really want to have another park, or do they really want to have a restaurant? I say it's fact. They want to have another restaurant. So please, when it comes time to vote, come out and vote, number one. And when you vote, understand that ordinance number 5356 needs to be no.